Go, there we go. No, that's fine. No, that's not fine. What? Landed my helicopter. Hey, Instagram, it's me, T, from the past and second train to bed. Look, get the clove out. It's somewhere in the middle of the night when I change, whatever, I put a clove in my mouth under my tongue. Why? I learned something about cloves. I don't know. I also put cloves in the diffuser don't worry. So I've been talking with the cloves in my mouth, which is not very good because I have the whole thing with the Bell's palsy happen, and I have to so you would think that I would make my, but it's under my tongue, so I guess it's all right. Forget all that. This is a Grand Rising report. Why? Grand Rising is near. Grand Rising is when the sun comes up. It's going to come up that way. And we're in blue light. So shout out to Blue Light Brigade. In fact, these days I'm supposed to be talking to Blue Light Brigade, so y'all just have to just if you're part of the Blue Light Brigade, you know what's going on, right? Oh, Blue Light Brigade. Yes, I did a little bit of my stretching like that. I'm actually going to, because I'm actually going to take a walk. Don't worry, I'm doing the blue light stuff, right? And I got to give you some things because remember, this is a Grand Rising report, so I got to tell you what happened in the last 24 hours or 48, something like that. Something close to this thing. Right? The most significant thing, I'm laughing already. Actually, I'm smiling. Well, the near significant thing. Well, let me start with thing. I found out because I talked to my sister. My mail goes to Virginia or whatever. I'm in South Africa. I don't know what's going on. So she has to open the mail, and I got a notice. They're cutting my benefits. I get a benefit from the VA, and I get Social Security, right? So I got a letter supposedly, and it's supposed to have been mailed in October of last year, whatever. And so they're saying that they're going to cut my benefits, my VA benefits, because of Social Security, some weird thing like that. But when I got those benefits, they say they're not supposed to be touched for no reason at all. So somebody, and this happened in October, November. So I can't. It's not a Trumpy thing, It's just a system thing. But here's the thing. I know it sounds bad. Well, it sounds bad because I've survived on very little bit of money. I got to support 2 households, travel, eat, eat healthy, all this stuff. It costs money, but that's not the thing. But my sister's on it, so you really look. You don't want to mess with me or my sister. A bureaucracy does not want to mess with us. I'm just saying it's like she's a retired. What is it, major, colonel, lieutenant colonel, whatever. She retired from the army, but she works. Anyway, so she's on the case on that, and I get there in May. So, meanwhile, this gives me an opportunity. This is why I want to talk to you, Blue Light Brigade, right? Because the worst thing you can do is do a bureaucratic thing with me. Why? Because I can write. I can write. Oh, I've even composed my first line of what I'm going to say to these people to answer this letter. And then I use a technique called the CC technique. That's carbon copies. Back in the day, you had the paper, then you had a carbon there, and then another paper. So when you typed on a typewriter, it would go to the carbon copy, and that's where it comes from. And then when they had when we started the computer thingies, and you had the memos and from the computer, right? And so you put CC, meaning that if you sent something to somebody and the CC meant carbon copy, well, whatever. There's a copies to these people that will be shown. Then they have a BCC, blind carbon copy, where then other people see it, but other people they're not supposed to know that. So okay. I'm a firm believer in CC. I've used this many a time. I've helped people use this. I tell people all the time when they have a problem, I say, look, no, you write the person, and other people in the chain that you want to know, you write CC. And then if you really want to get down, the people like the background people, you write the BCC, you write them on the BCC line. Well, when I write my thing, not only is it going to go to whoever the letter came from, it's going to go to my congressperson. That means nothing. Don't worry about it because they're my congress. My congress is Black Caucus. Useless. But anyway, I'll send it to them just as a matter of record. This I said they'll say, "Oh, it's sent to this congressman. It must be something." And plus, then I follow. If you do a CC line, then you have to follow the CC line with a cover letter to the people in the CC line. That I don't know if you got my correspondence, but this is it. So you have, it's a writing exercise. I write. I love to write. Okay. Then we have a new cat that's in charge from the new the Donald administration, in charge of the VA, and they do the regular thing. They're going to, oh yeah, we're going to make we're here for veterans. Oh, so I got to write that person, right? Oh, this is hilarious. Anyway, let me finish this. Let me keep on going with the military. Here's the thing about the military. First of all, veterans aren't stupid. We've been through fire, whatever, most of them, and so we know what's going on. Let me just give you a case. Look, one of the times I was up in New York, there was a guy, on the street, Vietnam veteran, on the street, trying to get money, blah, 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 whatever it is, right? Because, they don't take care of hey, the Vietnam veterans, the worst. Got it the worst. I'm a Vietnam era veteran. In other words, that means that I wasn't out of the country. I wasn't in country. I wasn't in the Nam. I was stationed in McGuire. I did a whole lot of benefits there for the community there. We won't get into that right now. But this cat, and he was having a problem with the VA. I said, what, blah, blah, blah. And I was going to help him, right? And I would come by every once in a while, then he disappeared. But he was what we call a tunnel rat. Now, what that was with the Vietnamese, they had these tunnels, right? And they would booby trap the tunnels, right? So usually a small guy, whatever, usually a black guy, would have to go into the tunnels, and make sure the tunnel was clear. That was the most stressful job. I guess the thing closer to in the modern era with the what do you call them, the shock and awe people and the Afghani people and the what's that stuff is the explosive. We see that the Hurt Locker and whatever. That's sort of stressful too, but that's sort of different, right? It's not as, let's call it, spooky as the other thing. So my whole thing with the VA, right? It's like, look, my thing is non-service related. I get my little thingy from, right? But even in the service, there's gradations. Everybody should not get the same whatever. It should be a bottom line, and everybody should get above that. But somebody that was like a tunnel rat, and if you were a tunnel rat, you survived, then you should be getting the highest pay or the highest whatever because of psychological damage and all this stuff. Let me tell you something. Also, what I realized when I was in the service, when I got out of the service, because before I was in the service, I was a brilliant kind of person, right? I shouldn't say it that way. But I went into the service, and I'm telling you, immediately my vocabulary went from whatever, zoom down, because but it went down, right? But all through the thing, I did all sorts of things, and I whatever. But when I got out of the service, about 2 or 3 years after, I realized something. I was institutionalized for 4 years. And it really does something. If you were one, it does something to your brain. I realized that I was not right. I know some people are not right now. Right, I'm serious. So no matter what kind of thing you service, whatever have you, you need some help. Really. I mean, if you're be in prison, I don't know, those kind of things. When people get out, they shouldn't. Vietnam had it worse because when we got out, so at least World War II, they said the greatest generation. Yeah, but when they get home, be kissing on women and stuff like that, whatever have it, they had a whole 2 weeks or 2 months, whatever the adjustment period, whatever. Vietnam, you got out, kicked your behind out, boom, no nothing. Especially when I'm telling you, because I was dealing with these people. My point really is. And then of course the things change around because they realize they treat the Vietnam people bad. So now when you have the shock and awe and all the rest of that stuff, now they treat them, oh, bless our veterans, now they get the flyovers and all the rest of that stuff. Oh, please. In fact, if you're a Vietnam era veteran, right, you need to get compensated just for all the stuff that happened around the thing, before, during, and after. That's all I got to say, right? And anybody that's going to mess with us, this gives me an opportunity to write. In fact, I even got the first line. Nobody not say that. Yeah, I wrote the first line. Are you intently trying to push me over the edge? I'm gonna say over the edge like that, but it's gonna go to the S word, and they don't like the veteran administration. They do not like to hear the S word. Not good. Oh, let me tell you something. I'm certifiably crazy anyway. So I mean, everybody will tell you, Anthony, that boy, he. I don't know why people want to mess with somebody who's crazy. I come from a crazy lineage. I come from. Okay, let's leave it alone. But that's the thing. So Blue Light Brigade, don't worry about. Oh, but I have to say this. It's never about us. Blue Light Brigade, understand this. If you're the Blue Light Brigade, you don't go someplace and say, my case, my da-da-da. No. You're speaking for people in your circumstance or even worse. You're speaking for the downtrodden. You're giving voice to the downtrodden, especially if you can write. You know? You don't go there talking about, oh, I was done wrong, and woe is me. Forget that, You're trying to save society. You're trying to change society. You're trying to change, think about it. Your commander-in-chief right now, in fact, the last commander-in-chief that I know of that had military experience was John F. Kennedy. No, that's right, because none of these other people, McCain didn't make it. Nobody. So all you commanders-in-chief, they don't know nothing about no military. At least they didn't go through basic training. I know the current Vice President, J.D. Vance, shock and awe, whatever. He's a veteran, so he's pretty close, but he's not the commander-in-chief. The commander-in-chief is the Donald, right? So here's the problem. Your commander-in-chief don't know nothing about nothing. So he can be led around by the generals or whatever have you. And here's the problem with the generals. This is a big problem. When somebody becomes a general, especially in this day and age, it's a political thing. It's a political thing. You got to toe the line. You got to move in machinations. You got to do that. Do you think when what's the guy? The shock and awe guy, the black guy was served under Bush. The black guy that held up the vial and said, this is something that's going to kill you. Now every veteran and their mama, every veteran and their daddy knew that boy was lying. You could tell the boy was lying. He was lying. You can't lie to. Anyway, back to the point. So these when you get to be like commander-in-chief, it's a political appointment. When you get to be the general chief of staff, general, that's a political appointment. The only people you trust in the chain is a colonel. The one that hasn't made it to that political ranks where they gotta, answer questions. Those people that they drag in front of these committees, of other people that don't know nothing about the military. Oh well, so and so, did you heard the general so and so about how did you say blah 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 blah. When they get to that level, they're useless. They're politicians. It's all political. Well, I'm sorry, I gotta keep on. One real thing. Let me explain what I mean. And this starts because they groom themselves. Look, here's what happened with me. When I got in the Air Force, right? Okay, here's what happened. Well, our first night, we had to get haircuts. We got haircuts, right? And so I went back to the barracks. I said, I don't like the way this looks. So I shaved my head, bald, right? Okay. So now I'm on a smoke break, and we had this good sergeant and a bad sergeant, good cop, bad cop thing. So the good sergeant comes to smoke. It was in a smoking area, right? And he comes in there. Oh, we all jump. He says, no, Eddie's. He says, and he gives this story about how there was this a guy that he fell asleep. But he got sunburned. He fell asleep. He got sunburned, and he got court-martialed, almost court-martialed. And they said, "Why is the guy saying this?" He said, "Because you have to understand, he damaged government property. So in other words, the guy fell asleep on the beach. He got sunburned, and when you're in the military, you're government property. That's what GI government issue. But it's government property, right? Okay, so he's telling this story. I said because everybody knew I was the ringleader because I shaved my head and everybody went and shaved their head. It's mostly black people. So he says, so you can. I said, oh, Sarge, hey, I didn't know. Blah 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 blah. Blah. So you can't do that because you're a government issue. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's over with. And I go through basic training is a breeze to me because fraternity and gymnastics, whatever, like that. The day before we graduate, you graduate from basic training, right? I was walking under this thing. It's like they have when you have the troops, but you have this whole thing like that. Hey, sunrise. Hey, grand rising. I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of the story. I got to tell this. So I'm walking under this thing, and it's like the administrative, or there's officers are here, and there's a big awning. And it's big because sometimes you have to, if it's raining, the troops are sort of under this thing, right? So I'm walking there, people over there, I'm just walking close to the thing. The captain of the whatever, he comes out, and he comes to me, and he starts yelling at me and bawling me out, da 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 da, and then he just leaves, right? And I'm going like, whoa. So I keep on walking, and the other cats over there say, they come here, Sloan, what happened? What you do? What you do is always first thing. What happened? What? I said, I don't know. I was just walking. I did. You saw it. I was just. Here's what happened. Anything that happens to you in the lower ranks, captain, whatever, it's made a note of, right? So when you're trying to ascend, and you got like 5 people want to be major, well, 5 people want to be general. One little smirch on your head, like, oh, when you was a captain in charge of this thing, there was a mutiny or whatever. There was a thing happened like that. So that knocks you out of the thing. That's a political thing. So I realized, this is years after I realized, oh, that's what happened. The boy was mad at me because somebody must have said, and you are not to do anything to this airman. There's no and he just couldn't help himself. Oh gosh, this is the kind of problem this is the kind of problems I cause. So anyway, all I'm trying to say is, Blue Light Brigade, don't worry about it. I got this. The benefits are not. We'll see. Look. As they say, the great spirit is on my side. I don't worry. Well, like they said, I ain't gonna have no money anyway, but it'll all get sorted out. Like I said, my sister's on the case. I'll be on the case. We'll see what, and it gives me an opportunity to start to beat up on the system. I love the system. Anyway, oh, one more thing before I left. Look, I finished. I got everything. I'll be my latest Quasaba. I'll be there, and I started working on my next Quasaba, which is like, whoa. The problem is every time I write one of these things, they like my babies, and I love them more. But this one is really good. This one, you'll find out, it's really good. And it's, I didn't put the dedication goes on the other page. It's dedicated to the Sahel. Warriors, it's Sahel leaders, and we all need to pay attention to that. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Later tonight, we're international, global. So I'll talk to you about that. Right now, let me let you go. I gave you a little update. It's personal. Sorry about that. I didn't really want to go personal, but things happen. The brother got to fight. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.